In this lesson, I'm just going to go over a couple of examples of how I can evaluate expressions with exponents. We're going to look really hard at the order of operations, and one way to remember that is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's the one I remember. In addition, I just kind of memorized the word PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. These two are done at the same time. These two are done at the same time. Parentheses is first, then exponents. So if I look at this expression, 12 plus 25 divided by 5 squared, I first look at the order of operations as parentheses first. So the first thing I'm going to do is 25 divided by 5. So as I work my way down, and I'll rotate colors just to see this, here the 12 is going to stay, because I'm not going to do anything with that, plus my parentheses would be 25 divided by 5 first, and that's going to be 5. And that's going to be squared, which is funny because 25 divided by 5 is 5, and then if you do 5 times 5 and square it, which would be your exponent would be 25. So it's like it just did nothing. And then you do that plus 12, and 12 plus 25 would be 35, 37. So this ends up equaling 37. Here's another example where you have several parentheses and several exponents. So when you're looking at this, the first thing you do is you say 28 divided by 2 to the third plus 3 squared. So I'm looking at the 2 cubed plus 3. That's inside parentheses. So what I do is I first look at the parentheses, 28 divided by 2 to the third plus 3. And then inside here, I have to do the order of operations again. So I look, oh, there's more parentheses inside. So I look there. And then once I get inside these parentheses, I do the order operations again. There's no parentheses, but there's an exponent. So the first thing I do inside these parentheses is 2 cubed, which is 8. So if I were to just do this step by step, it would be 8 plus 3, because 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3, and now that's still in parentheses, 28 divided by 8 plus 3 plus 3 squared, and again, order operations, parentheses go into these parentheses, 8 plus 3 is next, 8 plus 3 is 11, 28 divided by 11 plus 3 squared. I still have parentheses to do. In this case, 28 divided by 11, that's going to not work out to an even number, so I'm going to have to do a decimal here. So 11 goes into 28, it's going to go in twice, 22 is going to equal 6. I'll go ahead and just finish this and keep recording. So you add your decimal point and a 0, bring down the 0, 11 is going to go into 60, bring up my decimal point 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55, minus equals 0, or minus equals 5. Bring down the 0, I'm at 50. 4, it's going to kind of perpetuate like this. 44 minus equals 60. You'll bring down a 0, and now it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 5, 4 repeating. So it's 2.54. I'm just going to say it's about 2.54 and leave. And so we leave it at 2.54 just to keep it estimated so we can actually solve this problem. 2.54, and that would end up being repeated. We'll just round it off and leave it like that. Actually, 5, 4, 5. Oh, so this would say round up. So let's round this up. So we're actually going to write 2.55 plus 3 squared. Notice I continue to work down the problem to evaluate and come up with my solution. 2.55 plus 3 squared. 3 squared is 3 times 3. I'm in exponents now, so 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2.55. Not too bad to add these. Just add my whole numbers. 9 plus 2 is 11, and 55 hundredths is what the problem ends up equaling. So 11.55 would be my answer to this expression. So again, in this video, my purpose here was really just to tell you how can I evaluate expressions with exponents. You're going to want to go through your order of operations and just solve the problems. They can get complicated with multiple parentheses, but that's not going to happen too often to you. And just knowing how to evaluate exponents is key too.